Yeah, we're talking about Kairos Junction here. What are some of the things that you've seen some Protosses do in PvZ on this particular map?
Immortal pushes.
Like, yeah.
If I could cut right to that.
Yeah. Straight to Immortal pushes. All right.
I'm trying to remember games that weren't Immortal pushes here, actually, and I'm having a hard time.
There are definitely tons of Protosses that will do that, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those maps where you won't see it go into the later stages of the game. Generally, it generally ends on 2 or 3 bases. I actually don't remember the last really late game PvZ I saw in Kairos Junction. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember seeing a Protoss having like 5 bases here. No.
Acropolis, yeah. Thunderbird, obviously, yeah.
Seen a couple PVTs where you might get 5 here, but
maybe.
Yeah, not this matchup. This one comes to a head pretty quickly, and I think it has to do with the layout of. You look at the third base, also the ramps leading up to the natural. If you get the right position on your opponent with things like sentries, you're going to start dominating.
Certainly. Robotic Facility is going down here for traps and not going to be a Stargate opening. That's definitely leaning towards what you're saying, Artie McTosis.
Yeah, that's an Immortal push.
Yeah.
That's not even the right build for like a DT-based Archon drop. Of course, there are some builds now where you just go later DTs and you just trick them out, but yeah, I'm not at all surprised to see this. I think this is the strongest build for the map.
Yeah.
And the fact that I literally can't remember games where this wasn't the build must mean something. I watch a lot of games.
When I ask you that question, I'm just like, what is he going to do? Is there something other than the Immortal push? No, okay, my suspicions are correct, okay.
Do you think he'll make probes this game? Like, yeah, you need them for your economy. Yeah, not too many, though, because you're going to 2-base.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. You do need the money. Immortals are quite expensive. So we do see the third base here for the Zerg, obviously, as Serral is just ramping up the, I guess, like the power spike that you have as Zerg when that third hatch finishes up and you're starting to mine from it a little bit. And this Overlord is getting shooed away by that Stalker. He does have a handful of Lings here moving out across the map. Not really worried about adepts or anything at the moment, is what this means. He really wants to have a look at that natural wall in.
Yeah, and he's going to try to save the Overlord. I can't imagine it being saved, though. Yeah, that's going to go down. I guess a valiant effort by Serral, but in vain. The Roach Warren coming out right now. Look at this, 32 workers getting that Roach Warren. He knows how serious this is. You see that Prism out this early, you're not thinking, this is a macro Prism.
That's right.
Oh, but look, the Twilight.
All right, so pretty interesting build here from Trap. Not the super stock standard Immortal push or even super stock standard, Templar tech drop, whether it be DT or otherwise.
Yeah, I wonder if, I feel like we're going to see him go into DT from here, but I'm not 100% sure. It is a very strong and tricky build, so it's the type of thing that you should feel like might be able to kill Serral. A lot of the European Zergs I've seen will actually skip out on layer for a little bit to hold the Immortal pushes, which would make the DT tech stronger, and I think that Trap has that same idea.
Yeah, good call there. So we do see the Dark Shrine on the way here for Trap, and Serral will have to rely on Spore Crawlers until that layer is done. Won't have any mobile detection otherwise, or any detection in general. Ling's just running by. They see the Immortal, so they definitely needs to be worried about. He's getting a lot of roaches up right now, but as you mentioned, Artosis, in a minute or so here, detection is going to be a big question in our mind. Blink as well being researched here for Trap.
Can you intuit what's happening here by this weird-looking little army that he has? I mean, not really, right?
No, it's just so weird.
Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, those are going to be the best units you have to harass right now, so yeah, why not?
This Blink is so interesting. He just really wants an anti-Roach army, just some Archons, a lot of Blink Stalkers, maybe pick off the Ravagers. He wanted to do it last time on King's Cove, but it nearly worked out. It's so close.
Well, if you really hurt the economy of your opponent, like when you get smaller armies, Blink Stalkers are actually amazing against Zerg, right? So if the DTs do what they're meant to do, yeah, it seems like Blink, Force Field, Immortal would be a great follow-up.
Yeah, certainly. The Lings of Serral continuously poking at that natural, making sure that there is no third base attempt from the Protoss. So he has a very, very good idea of what the economy of the Protoss looks like, and therefore can deduct what is some possibilities of what Trap is up to here on that 2-base wall.
Well, the layer is just finishing now. He's warping in 3 Dark Templar. He has 1 at home. Okay, let's see it. There's no detection, Maynard.
No, the Spore Crawler, or rather the Observer sees no Spore Crawler here in the natural. He's going to split the DTs off.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is going to be a good number of drones, I feel.
And having a DT at home is really going to mess us up as well. Look at that. He's forcing this gigantic attack to turn around. Tons of damage already being dealt.
Great strategy here from Trap, really paying dividends. He's got 9 drones already, potentially more on the horizon here. as he just starts to get the detection. The Observer goes down, but this DT is still hacking and slashing away as a fresh throw to the third base. Serral taking so much damage here. Great move from Trap.
This was really worthwhile. Like the fact that you get 14 drones, tons of lost mining time, a couple units here and there, and you force Serral's attack to turn around, which gives you time for Blink and +1 to finish, as well as more Immortals. I mean, I guess DTs can always do better. It can end the game sometimes, but that was really good.
That was very, very good. So advantage Trap here in the early stage of the game. Serral's economy not dire. Oh, not again. No, this one shouldn't be killed here. Force fields and the rest of those units protecting that Immortal from the Lings. Comes down to seize that third base attempt here. Not really anything in position to stop this.
Very annoying little set of Lings right there. So great job by Serral, but I don't think he'll be able to get this, right?
Yeah.
Not right now, at least.
Dark Templar coming back. Still no Spore Crawler here at the third base, and that Overseer is up in the main, I think. Yeah, there it is.
Oh my gosh. This is serious damage, man. Like another 3 drones and lost mining time. Trap continues to gain value. In the meantime, is getting more Immortals, getting charged. That third Nexus is coming up. Serral, no fourth base in sight.
He's up, so he's got a good lead in army supply here, Serral does, but the army of Trap really counters what Serral's been making. He has a lot of sentries. There's not really that many Ravagers, or I actually don't know if he has any Ravagers here in this army. He has a lot of Roaches.
I think he has a handful of Ravagers right now. So those, he needs really good Vials, though.
Recall, open up the Bifrost. He goes home. Well, at least he didn't lose that Immortal. Very, very close to dying. Actually, the Lings are swinging around to try and finish it off, but he's putting the charge like, no!
I love it.
You shall not pass.
I love that. That's amazing. His own personal wall.
This is the mini-bosses before you get to the real thing.
Yeah.
Well, Serral is getting the Baneling Nest up, as well as a bunch of drones to just Roach, Ravager, Ling, Bane here, which is a very, very anti-gateway, anti-Immortal army, and anti-force field as well. This is going to the later stages of the game here, Artosis. We're well and truly into the mid-game here as Trap heading towards +2 attack on that Forge. Templar Archives also being made in the wins here.
But honestly, looking at this, I think that Serral's doing a very good job of trying to counter the army as best he can while still trying to macro at home and give himself opportunities for later in the game. But I still do like Trap's position overall.
Force Field's denying the Lings to retreat there. And there we go, the double Immortal with that War Prism is kind of waiting for this, looking for a Queen just caught out in the wrong part of town. She is, just kept alive by her babies.
All right, get out of there right now. Nice little double scout with these hallucinated Phoenixes, trying to check out exactly what's going on. I assume that those will have seen the Baneling Nest that's upgrading, so that's actually a very important thing to see, right? So you can make sure you have some Archons. He is getting into Psystorm as well, so the combination of those two really helps to counter this unit composition a bit.
Absolutely. I'm getting a little worried for Serral here, upgrade-wise. Like +2, halfway done. He just got his first Evo a couple seconds ago, so +1 melee on the way here to help out the Lings and the Banelings, obviously. But for all you guys out there, the attack upgrades stack with the bonus damage. So that Immortal bonus damage to the Roaches
it's ridiculous.
Is actually going to be really insane to this army of Serral. So army supply is not always going to tell the tale in this particular battle, or upcoming fights, rather.
Okay, so a lot of Banelings being morphed. Baneling speed is going to be finishing up here. Psystorm's not quite ready yet, but I think it will be. Yeah, it's going to be before we get a full engage, I believe, right? He's got about a 7-second window here. And he's going to get it. So that's actually really important. In the meantime, another DT harassing.
Hallucinated Colossi here, just give me a little bit of vision over the brush.
Oh my god.
Oh, these Force Fields and these Archons looking to try and punish the Baneling count here of Serral. Force Fields also starting to stop that retreat. He doesn't manage to cut into the Roaches. Nice storm there from Trap. Very nice storm. So many dead Banelings there.
Yeah, he needs another couple good storms here, though. This looks kind of all in from Serral. He really needs to get something done. The Banelings starting to connect, but on Immortals.
Yeah, the Immortals can take a lot of Baneling hits there, and they do weather that run-through of Banelings. Some of the Biles doing a little bit of damage there, but Serral is actually making a bit of progress. He actually cut through a lot of the army supply of Trap there.
Yeah.
Most of his army being reinforced is Lings, which isn't incredibly powerful, but considering there's like a kind of an a lack of anti-Ling defense here, not that many charge slots, only a few Archons.
Yeah, it feels like he definitely does need some more Archons, but of course the Ravagers can start to do damage at that point. So I'm getting a bit more nervous for Trap, for sure, yeah.
Wow. And +1 has been done for a little bit here with these Lings and these Banelings. DT on the left side trying to get away from that Zerg army and try and find some harassment, but he might need those for Archons here as Serral is once again attacking in. The Banelings looking for that cluster of gateway units. The Stalkers blink back. Serral's army right in range of that third Nexus, Artosis.
Yeah,
he's got some units coming in from the high ground as well.
Look at this, a lot of Immortals though, so they are doing their job fighting here. Some decent juggling out of Trap, although not perfect, and he will live through this once again, but the Lings doing a ton of counterattack damage.
They ran through the natural while Trap's attention was split, and they have done critical damage to the economy of Trap. They're in the main base now. A cannon here going to slow them down, the charge lot as well. Definitely going to make things a little bit harder for Serral, but he's target firing down the probes. 22 of them have gone down. Oh man, nice stuff from Serral. His economy isn't amazing, which is the only reason why I think this game isn't over. You know, Serral has a sub 60 drone count, doesn't really have a secured fourth base or just yet, although it's starting to look a little bit better now. But that run by really put him ahead.
Well, right now I'm not sure what Trap is supposed to do to recover at this point, which is really weird because it felt like he was leading for such a chunk of this game. But he's got his good upgrades, right? He's got Charge and Blink. He's getting a lot of High Templars. He still has a good amount of Immortals. It's just, if he hadn't lost that fourth Nexus, I'd still be feeling all right about him.
And he's saving some High Templar here for Storms. He really needs Storms here against this big number of Ravagers and Banes. Storm there on the front line does get quite a few Banelings.
Yeah, that was a very good one. Oh my god, those Biles, what? Amazing Biles connecting there. Trap missing that split.
It's unfortunate. Trap doesn't have a whole lot of mistakes left in the tank here, Aptosis. If he keeps doing this, Serral is absolutely going to start to walk away with this one. He's coming up to the high ground. I like the attempt here with these DTs to try and keep doing drone damage to the Zerg. He does have some Overseers sort of hanging around here, and yeah, like that map awareness. Sees the DT in the main. Might get a Queen, might get a drone or two, but he will clean it up.
Well, he's doing something. It's giving him a little bit of breathing room, but he needs more than this, like you said. You know, we're seeing so much production coming out of Serral. He does have a bigger worker count. He has more bases, taking his fifth.
By the way, the creep spread, Artosis.
Yeah, it's
basically on the front door Trap.
It's looking pretty good.
Looking pretty all right. Oh, Lings and Banes trying to report that run by, but Trap in position, denies entry. Very nicely done.
He has a lot of Psy Storms here.
He does, yes.
So maybe just amazing Psy Storms are the way for him to look at this game. Like, that's what he has to do. Okay. That wasn't that bad then.
All right. Oh, a storm drop from Trap. Cool stuff. Very cute. Gets 7 drone kills. Very nice. But this Baneling run by potentially could be way worse.
Well, I tell you, luckily for Trap, he already lost all the probes at the natural, so there wasn't that many to lose there.
Can't kill what isn't here.
Yeah,
it's like that meme where I'm tapping my forehead right now.
Yeah, you can't get blood from a stone, right?
Ooh, another nice storm there, getting a handful of drones. Both players really hammering each other's economies. This is a very low econ game for 15 minutes.
What do you think about this Spire, though? There's like already a Blink upgrade. There's a lot of High Templars. There's some Archons out there.
I actually really like Spire against High Templar because you can use them to snipe the High Templar and force out Storms, you know, back on their army rather than on yours. So the mutas definitely can work, and Serral looks like he's going for a big muta switch here. He's got. Okay, does really cancel, but look at that gas bank, and Serral starts 15 Mutalisks, Artosis.
Oh my god, 15 is a serious number.
Yeah,
that's your big boy Mutapants.
That's when you're buying a ring for these Mutalisks, Artosis. You're going to bring them home to show them to your parents. That's how much you love these Mutalisks. Yeah. This is huge. And that fourth, once again, cancelled. Trap not getting a break here economically. Serral trying for that run by. It does plug the hole with the charge lot, of course. These Lings do have +2, so well, actually, it's a DT. Very, very nice. So it stops them from running through there. But Serral, with these Mutalisks, could actually potentially kill this army of Trap. His anti-Mutalisk countermeasure, not super convincing.
Oh, look at that. Flies over. He's actually losing a few of these Mutas on their way. Oh, no, these 3 Archons. What are these 3 Archons doing there?
He needs to save these.
Okay.
His life literally depends on these Archons.
Yeah, that's really important. Okay, some Stalkers being warped in over there. Don't forget, he has +3 attacks, so he will kill Mutas reasonably quickly. He has a couple batteries here. Of course, that is so many Mutas.
There is, and there's 7 more on the way as well. Trap doesn't have enough on the ground to stop them either. And now the probes are going to start to feel the pain here of these flying worms. Oh, man.
Well,
Trap very all in here. This needs to kill Serral right now or he's out of this tournament.
This is a base trade no matter how you look at it. Oftentimes, Mutaling turns into that, and that's what Serral has gone into now. Let's see. I mean, if Serral can kill off all the Nexuses, he could force Trap to turn around.
Certainly can. Neither player has that much of a bank. He's recalling some of his army here. Some of these Storms are available as well. Goes to the main base to try and stop this base trade from going terribly wrong for him.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of Psy Storms.
It is.
It's an Archon, so you can't really be too aggressive with the Mutas, I guess.
Decent storm there on the Lings, slowing things down. The Ravagers on the low ground with a lot more Lings here. The brunt of the Mutalisk flock also here for the Zerg. Serral, I think he might just come home and try and erase this army.
Yeah, that's a lot of Archons though, right? And I think he split his army quite well. It's a very difficult proposition though.
Storm's going down there.
God.
The Mutal is sniping those High Templar, so they do go down, and Mutas do regenerate quite quickly here. The Immortals also taking that damage from the north, while the Lings have really been thinned out. The Ravagers and the Mutas still showing a lot of damage from the skies.
Okay, well, if these Immortals can trade with those, the Ravagers at least, it's really just Mutas left, right? He has 3 Ravagers and 16 Mutas, and that's the army. So the 16-0-0 Mutas are not the scariest thing.
You're absolutely right, and there are a good number of +3 attack Archons here,
Oh
especially with that Prism to juggle them around as well.
Okay,
This actually might go well for Trap if he can catch these Mutalisks. This will be huge.
Well, with the Prism, you can kind of juggle against. You got to be careful though. If they dive on that Prism, get the Archons, that's some big value. But he needs to also kill the other bases. Serral's even expanding again right now.
Well, Trap's on 8 probes, Serral's on 32 drones. So there is technically
it's a
still
big
an
difference.
economy for the Zerg, even though it doesn't look that great.
What does he have for production buildings? Does he have a pool still? Does he have a Roach Horn still? Like, okay.
He does, okay.
Baneling Nest, but no pool, so we don't care about that so much. He does have the Roach Horn, that's important.
I mean, a good number of Roaches definitely will help him here, right? You know,
Yeah, anything. Well, he needs to
the
kill the
Immortals are
Archons,
dead.
right?
Certainly.
The Archons are basically the scary thing because his army's almost all Mutas.
+3 attack Archon, but a lot of +2 attack Lings. They do cut through it and kill it. And that's actually a relatively decent trade for Serral there. Still darts in, really hitting that probe line. Oh man, Trap trying to remake those probes, but losing them so quickly. Spawning pool nearly done for Serral as well. So once again, Ling Bane back on the menu for the Zerg.
Do you think he can split his army right now, like leave 2 Archons in the Prism at home and send everything else? He doesn't know about the bases. This is getting rough.
Yeah.
He knows about 2 of the bases, it looks like.
And it looks like the Roach Horn being remade for Serral because, you know, without creep, that will eventually die.
Yeah.
And he's remaking the Spire as well. Okay, so this is like a rock and a hard play situation for Trap.
Yeah, all these army splits are the hardest decisions ever.
And it's potentially tournament-ending decision as well. The most stressful decision-making period is right now here for Trap.
Yeah, but he needs to be active. If he doesn't go, Serral's going to to macro again. The game's going to end.
Yeah, the Zerg is
like he just needs a couple rounds of units, and he's going to be able to kill this, right?
Yep. Serral is. I feel like when the Roach Horn finishes up again, he's going to start making units again.
Yeah.
You know, he knows that Trap is in base here and not on his side of the map. Storm there actually killing a Zealot as well as a Mutalisk.
Yeah, he actually lost his sentry there as well when the Mutas came in, so some very swift moves from Serral. Unpowering gates, I don't think he cares about that. His economy's not big enough to use them.
Oh, yeah. Do you even make a pylon to repower those at this point? Like, he's absolutely not. So...
Dude, he needs to move out. Look at this. Serral's taking all the bases now.
Yeah, and the Roach Horn did finish up and more units on the way as we sort of guessed here.
If only he like, even an Oracle right now could win him the game. I feel like, right? You could like tag the Mutas, maybe you go hit the drones or something, but he's not. He's keeping everything at home, which is the
Mutalisks regenerate so quickly as well, so the more time that you're not shooting them, they are just coming back to full health.
Okay, we have a bunch of Roaches we made. He's actually upgrading +1 ranged attack at 20 minutes with no main or natural.
Normally that doesn't make sense, but
here it does.
You had to be here for the first 20 minutes of this game to put 2 and 2 together there. All right, here we go. Trap is being active. He's coming across the map. He is down quite a bit in army supply. His army does hit very, very hard. There is potential here for Trap, but it does seem rough. Here he goes.
Okay, yeah, he definitely has to micro this correctly. The Mutas can't fully engage if the Archons are kind of clumped.
I think he's got to die for the High Templar here with these Mutalisks. He's got to get those High Templar out of this bowl of units so these Roaches and Ravagers can just clean up everything else.
I feel like what he needs the Archons gone. The Mutas kill everything without the Archons there, right?
That is true.
So the Archons, I feel like, are the crux, but you can't snipe them. Because if the Mutas come in, you storm, and then the Archon hits, kill the Mutas. If you run in with the Roaches, the Immortals just kill those, right? This is a tough army to engage, but look at that. That's a lot of units.
It certainly is. Down go the Storms there to the north side. The Mutas and also the Ravagers eating a lot of bad weather. But that is too much Zerg on the dance floor. A Trap is out of here. Serral